the Lucky Charm doesn't just give you an object to defeat the villain with. You actually have to figure out exactly how to use it to win the battle, using your head.
Hey, hello, how do you do? Shady Doorags here. Miraculous Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir is a show about a French girl named Marinette who is secretly a superhero called Ladybug. She teams up with a guy named Adrien who is secretly the superhero Cat Noir, and they work together to defeat the evil villain Hawkmoth and his mind-controlled akumatized victims. I've been reviewing this show since 2017. Given that, you might think I have nothing but good things to say about it. Well, you'd be dead wrong, like usual. Miraculous has a ton of problems, but today I want to focus on the biggest problem with one of its biggest problems, that being the Lucky Charm. In the show, every Miraculous hero has an ace up their sleeve that allows them to turn a battle in their favor. After using this ace, the hero has 5 minutes before they transform back into their civilian clothes and lose all their superpowers. Ladybug's ace is her Lucky Charm, where she creates an item that, if used correctly, will allow her to solve whatever problem she is currently focused on. The Lucky Charm also allows her to undo any damage that happened throughout her encounter with a supervillain, essentially nullifying any consequences. This is an Insta-Win move. As an audience member, you know that once Marinette shouts, "Lucky Charm!" the episode is basically over. Now, Insta-Win moves are not an automatic bad thing. Shoot, I can easily name several hit shows that have them and use them really well. The problem with the Lucky Charm is, well, actually, there are several problems, from its inconsistency, to it being a bigger threat than Ladybug herself, to the fact that it essentially erases all the hero's mistakes. All of these problems and more exist and deserve videos on their own, but I want to focus on the big one. In the context of the plot, the goal of the Lucky Charm is to solve its user's problem. Okay, so what's to stop the Lucky Charm from being, say, a button Ladybug can press that simply reverses everything back to normal? In story, there is no reason for this, but for the narrative, there is. The Lucky Charm's narrative purpose is to make Marinette seem clever, to give her an item that she has to use her head to figure out. The biggest problem with the Lucky Charm is that the way it's currently handled makes it so that its plot purpose and its narrative purpose clash instead of mixing together. Marinette can't get a ray gun she could shoot and instantly cure the akumatized because that wouldn't make her seem clever. But because the universe is still giving her whatever random item she needs to win, all the tension of the plot is completely removed. The Lucky Charm, despite having a narrative purpose to make Marinette seem more skilled, is making her seem less skilled because it's literally the writers giving her whatever she needs to win. Imagine if in any other dramatic story, a hero had the power to summon the one item they needed for victory. The Lucky Charm power is a MacGuffin. It's basically a magic satchel and it constantly feels like a Deus Ex Machina. Like I said, Insta-Win moves are all over various media, and I want to compare the Lucky Charm to one that I know works really well. In the Adventures of Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius, there was also an Insta-Win move called the Brain Blast. It involved Jimmy thinking really hard and really quickly about a situation, instantly coming up with a solution to whatever problem he was facing. It was basically a super genius brainstorm. In the same way with the Lucky Charm, when you heard Jimmy say, "Think, you knew the problem was about to be solved. There are several differences that make the Brain Blast superior to the Lucky Charm as a concept, but again, I want to focus on the biggest factor. Jimmy's Brain Blast did not necessarily relieve all tension, and it certainly didn't make him seem less skilled. Quite the opposite, the Brain Blast helped to highlight his cleverness. Now, Jimmy is a genius. The writers, if they wanted to, could have him think up and invent anything, like how Marinette can pull anything out of thin air. But Jimmy's writers don't do that. Instead, when Jimmy does a Brain Blast, he's always remembering something, specifically something that happened earlier in that episode. What is the key element to eliminating Deus Ex Machinas? Foreshadowing. With Jimmy, I can see how he's using elements already introduced in the story to his advantage. With Ladybug, every time she uses a Lucky Charm, she's pulling something that wasn't already established into reality for the sole purpose of allowing her to win. Because Jimmy's Brain Blast is limited to what happened in the episode, it also doesn't mean that in-universe it's guaranteed to work. This makes Jimmy appear clever because he has to work with what he has rather than being given what he needs. If Marinette's solution isn't foreshadowed, it makes me think she's more lucky than she is clever. And yeah, luck is a part of the theme when it comes to Miraculous. The item is literally called the Lucky Charm. But if a story wants me to respect a character as a problem solver, it can't rely too much on the luck factor. And that's where things need to change with the Lucky Charm. it relies too much on luck. There is a way that the Lucky Charm could have still been lucky while having the same effect as the Brain Blast. Still have the Lucky Charm create an item that is best suited to help with the current problem, but instead of any random item in the universe, have it be limited to being an item that Marinette has recently encountered. You can even put a time limit on it, say 24 hours. This way, whenever Ladybug creates a Lucky Charm, she has to remember what the item did and how such a concept would work in her current situation. And just because an item is best suited to work for her doesn't mean it automatically will, because it was limited among a certain selection. While luck still does play a factor, this Lucky Charm would rely much more on skill, and I would respect Ladybug more than I would the Lucky Charm itself. In the episode Dark Cupid, the writers actually did something like this, making Ladybug's Lucky Charm be a candy apple, and making its usefulness apply in the same way it gave Marinette trouble earlier in the episode. Basically what I'm saying is, we all know that for Chekhov's gun to work, the gun has to go off in the third act. But I think you can still fail the concept if the gun is never shown in the first act to begin with. This has been Shady Doorags. So long. Farewell. That'd be the same. Goodbye.